disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted with the performance of the Indiana Fever. Stephanie White got purely out-coached from beginning to end. After the first 60 seconds, after the first minute of this game, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Like, let's just keep it real. Stephanie White did not have this team ready to play. Aaliyah Boston got up 7 shots. She's standing at the top of the key, acting like the joke. I don't understand what's going on.
In the most ridiculous way possible, the team just lost. Stephanie White was pointing at everyone save herself, and it seemed like the clock was using dial-up internet. The participants are, in fact, the antagonists. The wait is really a cosmic joke. Furthermore, Halo and the coach are entirely innocent. If excuses were prizes, she would need a new shelf. As we explore the reasons why this isn't me but rather them, stay tuned. Supporters of the story are demanding that this woman be dismissed right away.
I don't know if it, affected the readiness, at all. But yeah, I mean, it's disruptive. It's not something that you expect to see. But we often talk about controlling the things that we can control, and we couldn't control that. So staying warm, and staying engaged. And, I thought that, we did what we could to work through the issue. And, kudos to everybody that had a hand in at least working it out. But then, we came out and we weren't ready those first, 5-6 minutes of the quarter.
The final bell sounds instead of what should have been a normal end to a close game. The microwave seems to have been accidentally left on defrost and attached to the scoreboard. The ridiculous clock delay made fans wonder if the arena was really powered by hamsters on wheels. Instead of focusing on strategy, everyone was transfixed to the scoreboard, straining at it as though they were trying to read ancient hieroglyphics. You would think that professional sports would employ more sophisticated equipment than a 1997 dial-up modem. But hello to the magical world where even time stops for coffee. As the chaos deepens, irritation naturally rises. The fans are enraged. Players are scrambling as memes are going viral on Twitter faster than the game itself. Some compared it to a poorly executed high school science fair experiment, while others asserted that they saw better timing at church bingo night. But the icing on the cake was Stephanie White's post-game spectacle, in which she concluded that the whole thing was absolutely, totally, definitely not her fault because, evidently, responsibility is only assigned to those whose job description includes head coach. Things start to go bad at this point. Take a look at Stephanie White's fascinating design. If the team loses, the universe somehow works against her. The players, the agents, or maybe the planets weren't in her favor are always held accountable. The players didn't execute, of course, because Saturn didn't retrograde the way she wanted it to. The way that works is amusing. Her coaching style basically consists of taking credit when things go well and assigning blame when things go poorly, much like party favors.
Function. I'm gonna be real, WNBA. That was nasty work. It was like an hour delay. This is nasty. Y'all got to get it together. Kathy Engelberg, the refs are trash. You can't even get shot clocks that work. What is going on? Y'all take so many unnecessary shots at the fans, and I've had enough of it. Y'all need to start looking in the mirror at what you guys control in this league. It's ridiculous. Ready. Isn't it your job? Now, players have to play, yes, but isn't it your job as a coach to be reiterating to the players, hey, let's go, guys. We need to come out with energy. I know there's been a delay. Let's be on our keys. We know the game plan. Let's come out with some energy. Let's hit them in the mouth first to come out.
Fans are also picking up on the fact that she has previously stepped up to the microphone and placed the blame on others. She has practically made her post-game routine her clockwork. Ironically, the clock was the main source of annoyance for the fans during this game. Beautiful symmetry. Well, let's get going. Because this is the issue. Blaming athletes is the simplest, least costly, and most forgiving approach to avoid problems in sports. It's equivalent to saying, "Don't stare at me. I simply work here." She does more than that, though. She is responsible for everything. Calling plays is only one aspect of being the coach. The major objectives are to set the tone, keep the team cohesive, and most importantly, not act like a kid who lost a video game and threw the controller at the screen. Only the most gifted, though, are able to turn every loss into a lecture about how their players simply didn't perform, conveniently ignoring the notion that the coach was either sleeping at the wheel or, in this case, napping at the clock. The question is, did the players actually hurt the game, or did coaching decisions deserve a passing mention under the oops category? Now, let's get to work.
Ever met somebody? Do you know anybody? Are you friends with somebody who just seems to always lie? Even when they have no need to lie, they just lie so often that they don't even know that they're lying anymore. Well, that seems to be the situation we have with one Stephanie White. She lied to get out of Connecticut, lied her way to Indiana, lied how she's going to utilize Caitlin Clark, lied about the vets that she's bringing in, lie after lie after lie after lie.
The players did, in fact, miss shots to begin. They threw the ball over more than you would have liked. But here's the worst part. When the momentum shifted following the clock incident, what particularly did the coach do to calm them down? Be advised that nothing of note is present. There was no fast stoppage to reset, no clever substitute to bring the rhythm back, and no tactical shift to counter the opposition group. It was you who failed when many of you figured it out. That's leadership, apparently. Moreover, the clock delay was not a minor error. It killed momentum, disrupted the rhythm, and gave the other team a little window of opportunity to regroup. Excellent instructors ought to be ready for such adversity. Despite slick playing surfaces, power outages, and even stragglers, teams have persevered. A 60-second clock delay, however, looks to be the end of the world if you're in White's realm. Because they can distinguish between a tough loss and a coach evading accountability, fans are incensed. It's not that hard. Let's take a little look back at history. Whether it's in basketball, football, or another sport, great coaches accept responsibility for their mistakes. They know that the most important thing is morale. They say, "Loss is on me," because that's how you keep the locker room intact, even if it wasn't entirely true. You take a beating from the public while dealing with player accountability behind closed doors. That's what coaching is all about. Stephanie White doesn't seem to have gone to that session. Maybe she was too busy practicing her blame-shifting skills in front of the mirror. Unfortunately, this incessant finger-pointing not only hurts the supporters, but also the players. Picture yourself giving it your all on the court and then entering the locker room with the knowledge that your coach will go out there and accuse you of being the reason the team lost. And every time this happens, the seat under Stephanie White gets a little hotter. Because if supporters have had enough, the front office will ultimately start to ask some uncomfortable questions. The primary query at hand is, if the coach isn't at blame, why is she there? Since the players are expected to manage everything on their own, we might as well save the money and let them coach themselves.
A game like this will make you question everything about this Indiana Fever team. Hell, about the WNBA. I mean, boy, that was some professionalism at the beginning of this game with all these shot clock problems. I mean, what are we doing here? Elementary schools don't have this kind of problem. I mean, what are we... I swear, this was one of the hardest games I ever had to sit through, and that's considering the Golden State Valkyries, they're pretty entertaining.
Accountability. In some coaching circles, this seemingly simple term is as alien as a foreign language. Each locker room's walls seem to be permanently engraved with it. Take responsibility. Lead by example. Don't be the victim. But when Stephanie. Accountability pauses when White joins the platform. You can almost hear it packing its bags and boarding a one-way ticket to a tropical destination as soon as she starts speaking. In actuality, being perfect is not what it means to be a leader. It is not expected of a coach to be perfect, but they do look forward to someone who will say, "This is on me," and take the storm head-on. Many coaches have found solace in that one sentence during trying times. It seems like the ultimate sports cheat code. It is they who are sweating, putting themselves in danger, and searching for loose balls. When they arrive for practice the next day, they don't have to feel like scapegoats. In this way, you forfeit a locker room. That's how hostility develops. One participant said, "She doesn't have my back." The crew soon finds themselves whispering the same thing. When a coach loses the team's faith, The season is essentially over.
Out coaches Stephanie White yet again as the Golden State Valkyries sweep the Indiana Fever this season. They beat us with Caitlin Clark. They beat us without Caitlin Clark. We have the superior talent. They have the inferior team. We have a coach that stands there with her arms crossed. They have a coach that gets in the thick of things and crazy coaches. When you have a more talented roster, yet you lose to a inferior team, that is coaching 101.
Let's zoom out though, as the supporters are not blind. Oh no, they have receipts. They are accustomed to playing the blame game. And social media swiftly became enraged. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The result was a digital roasting session. She was called for her job before she had even finished the press conference. One admirer remarked that her playbook is probably only 2 pages long. Assign responsibility to the players and begin anew. It may be harsh, but is it really up for debate now? Sports commentators also contributed their opinions, asking the same simple question. How often can you point the finger at your roster and no one notices until you're in the spotlight again? Because there are multiple subpar games involved. This relates to a record. The players didn't play well. Heard it. The issue with the clock perplexed us. I give a yawn. We just didn't have it tonight. Groundbreaking analysis. It nearly makes you question if she has a bingo card in her pocket with all of her favorite excuses written on it. You cross off a square and receive a prize when you lose a game. Then a firestorm breaks out. Fans who desire change are calling radio shows. Fire White. Themed online petitions are making the rounds. Virtual boxing matches are taking place in the comment sections between individuals who are prepared to pack her bags for her and those who are defending her.
What was that? Just everything about that. What was that? Like, it's been 3 hours since the game was supposed to start. The game was delayed basically an hour. What was that? Like, what was that? Like, the 63 points against the Valkyries team. Aaliyah Boston scored 4 points. She had 4 points. 4 points. Kelsey Mitchell, 4 of 14.
You can see the frustration. There is now more at risk than just one press conference or one loss. The secret is credibility. And if a coach loses the supporters' backing, it's a tough journey back. Since Stephanie White is not the only subject of this article, let's now talk about the larger picture. It is related to the culture of coaching. Top sports leaders have one thing in common. They are in charge of breakfast. They understand that they are ultimately responsible, even if their team makes mistakes.
Why?
Because one of the most important aspects of leading is setting the tone. I believe in you. A coach tells the team after he accepts the loss. I'll take care of you. Think of the famous coaches who created dynasties. They assumed responsibility for them despite their numerous failures, mistakes, and rough nights.